Carol, you've done 7 Oscar telecasts.
I have 7 of them.
How do you even get a job writing on the Oscars?
Well, my temp agency called me one morning and said, you know, the first time I was hired, Bruce Valanche was the head writer and kindly recommended me, and so that's how I first got on, and that was to write for Billy Crystal back in 2000.
I just wanted to make sure I got here. That's why I had the LAPD plant me here.
Some of the hosts you worked with, Chris Rock, Ellen DeGeneres, Whoopi Goldberg, Steve Martin, Alec Baldwin, those are a lot of different kinds of voices to write for.
They are all different voices, but the beauty of joke writing is once you hit on a good joke is a good joke, and pretty much if you put all the same jokes in front of all of those hosts, they'd certainly grab the best joke.
Anyone who has ever worked with Meryl Streep always ends up saying the exact same thing. Can that woman act? And what's up with all the Hitler memorabilia?
Give me a diagram of a good Oscar joke. What does it have to have in it?
The challenge is always, there are jokes that are industry jokes that certainly would kill in the room, but it's also playing to the bigger audience at home. And it's finding the balance.
Jennifer Hudson was on American Idol. America didn't vote for her, and yet she's here with an Oscar nomination. That's amazing. That's incredible. You know? And then Al Gore is here. America did vote for him, and then
In the past few years, I've been more on the show team. So I contribute jokes to the host, but that team will literally write 50 new jokes a day, which is not in my wheelhouse, you know? And if you write on the show team, you're working with the presenters, with what the presenters are going, with their spiel.
That means this seemed like a better idea in rehearsal.
What I love about writing for the Oscars is not only is it thrilling just as a fan, but you know, my background as a stand-up comic, and still to this day as a stand-up comic, I have a lot of empathy for the performers, because a lot of these great actors are not used to going out there like themselves, and the performer in me can empathize with their nerves and anxieties.
No, whenever I travel, I always like to keep that seat empty next to me. I found a great way to do it this trip, okay? When someone walks down the aisle and says to you, is someone sitting here? Just say, no one, except the Lord.
Tell me about going in the writer's room.
There's something about a writer's room that still to this day is so thrilling to me, because so much great comedy comes from the dynamic that happens when somebody has a great idea for something, somebody takes it to the next step, and then the third person gets the joke. It's like there is this kind of crazy energy and dynamic that is, it's still thrilling.
No, Oscar is the only 74-year-old man in Hollywood who doesn't need Viagra to last 3 hours.
Why do the Oscars anymore? Why write on them? You've done so many things in your career. What's the appeal?
You know, I think the appeal is always that it is the top of the food chain. It's the Oscars. It never loses its excitement. You know, there's, I'm sure, 1,000 more award shows since then, but there's one King Daddy, and it's Oscar, and it still has that, you know, cachet to it.
Thank you so much for joining us
pleasure.
and doing this and giving everybody the secrets of the writer's room.
Absolutely.